The world below is a memory of green. Up here, it is only grey rock and the punishing blue of a sky that offers no warmth. For 10 days, they have climbed. Each breath is a debt. A thin, sharp payment for another step. The lungs of the clan burn, unused to this assault. In the lowlands, the air was a thick, generous blanket. Here, it is a knife's edge. This is a land not meant for them. A vertical desert pushing them toward the clouds. They are a line of 23 Homo sapiens, a fragile thread of life stitched against the flank of a merciless god of stone and dice. The lead hunter, Tail, hunts. He does not gasp for air like the others. His control is absolute, but a faint tremor in his hand betrays the strain. He watches the old woman, Isha, as she presses a hand to her chest, her breathing a ragged, wet sound. The children, usually a chaotic tumble of limbs and noise, are silent. They cling to their mother's legs, their faces pale, their lips stinged with a faint, bruised purple. It is the invisible sickness, the treachery of thin air, the first signs of hypoxia. Their bodies are starving for something they cannot see or hunt. Survival is no longer just a matter of finding food or fending off predators. Their own blood is becoming the enemy. This is a new frontier in the story of hominid history. Their flight from the valley was not a choice but an expulsion. Another clan, larger and more brutal, had claimed their hunting grounds by the river. To stay meant extinction. To climb meant a chance, however slim. The clan's shaman had spoken of a high plateau, a hidden land of summer grass where great horned beasts graze. A story passed down from a time before humans could truly remember. It was a myth, a desperate prayer, but it was all they had. Their advanced ancient tools and tight community bonds were their only assets against the raw power of this Pleistocene landscape. Hey, young mother. Nora stumbles. The infant strapped to her chest in a sling of hide lets out a weak, mewling cry. Immediately, 2 others are at her side, steadying her, adjusting the weight of her pack. No word is spoken. The gesture is as instinctual as breathing was in the world they left behind. This is the bedrock of their existence. The unspoken contract of mutual dependence that allows early humans to endure the unendurable. Kale watches this, his gaze sweeping over his weakened people. They have traded the certainty of death below for the possibility of it above. He looks ahead, at the past that seems no closer than it did 3 days ago. The wind is a razor, stealing what little warmth their bodies can produce. He knows they cannot go down again. There is nothing to go back to. The only way is up, into the heart of the great emptiness. The mountain's mercy is a shallow cave. A crack in the rock found just as the sky turned a bruised, malevolent grey. Now, the world outside has vanished. A shrieking white fury, a blizzard of impossible force, has swallowed the landscape for 6 days. The entrance to their shelter is a wall of swirling snow. The wind a constant, high-pitched scream that frays the edges of sanity. Their universe has shrunk to this cramped space. A bubble of fragile warmth carved out of the ice by a single, precious fire. This is the crucible of human evolution, where the frailties of the body are tested against the resilience of the mind. Time is measured by the shrinking pile of scrub wood and the hollow ache in their bellies. The last of the tough, stringy meat is gone. Now, there is only the gnawing reality of resource scarcity. The cold is a predator in its own right, stalking the edges of the firelight, seeping through their hide cloaks. It finds the weakest first. Isha, the old woman, no longer speaks. She lies curled near the fire, her breath a shallow mist in the frigid air. Her survival is a drain on their collective energy, a fact no one voices but everyone understands. In this extreme test of survival skills, every calorie is a treasure. Amid the shivering and the silence, there is work. Ren, a youth whose hands are more adept with stone than a spear, sits with a quiet intensity that defies the howling gale. He is refining their lithic technology. Using a piece of antler, he presses fine, controlled flakes from a core of chert, creating not the crude choppers of their ancestors, but delicate, sharp-edged blades, with fangs. Others drill eyes into slivers of bone, fashioning new needles. The women work ceaselessly, stitching mismatched pieces of fur, ibex, marmot, anything they have, into layered blankets and better clothing. Their primitive technology is advancing by the hour, not for conquest, but for the simple, desperate need to endure another night. It is a quiet, desperate form of archaeology in the making. The hard choice arrives without ceremony. Kale holds the last piece of dried marrow, a thumb-sized lump of fattened protein. It is enough to give a hunter a flicker of energy, or to keep a child from the brink. He looks at his still form, then at the pale, listless children. The logic of the wild is simple and ruthless. The future belongs to the young, and the young depend on the stroll. To give the food to the dying is to steal it from the living. He moves toward his own son, but stops. No. The young mother watches him, her eyes wide in the firelight. She does not plead, but her gaze holds the entire history of their people. The unspoken law that they are more than a pack of beasts. They are a clan. This moment is a silent testament to the lives of all ancient humans. Slowly, deliberately, Kale breaks the marrow. He gives the larger piece to Mara for the children, then walks to Isha. He kneels and presses the smaller piece to her cold lips. It is an act of defiance against despair, an affirmation of a covenant that transcends mere survival. She does not stir. The offering is a sacrifice, a prayer whispered into the heart of the storm. The silence that follows the storm is heavier than the snow. It is a deafening quiet that presses in on the clan. A world bleached of color and sound. The blizzard has passed, but it has entombed them. When Kale and Ren finally dig their way through the compacted snow at the cave mouth, they emerge into all unscaped remade. An alien planet of blinding white under a sky of impossible clarity. The hunt is a grim ritual. For 2 days, the strongest venture out, sinking to their chests in the deep powder, the energy draining away with every step. They return with nothing. The animals are gone, either buried or having fled to lower elevations where no path now exists. The mountain has sealed its larder. The decision is made in the hollow-eyed silence around a dying fire. They will not all die here, waiting for a thaw that may never come. Foresight, the cruel gift that separates them from the beasts, demands a gamble. 3 will go. 3 will climb the final, impassable-looking ridge that looms above them. A spire of black rocks scoured by the wind. They will be the clan's eyes, a desperate probe sent into the unknown. If there is life beyond it, they will signal. If they do not return, the clan will know the myth of the high plateau was a lie. It is a brutal subsistence strategy born of utter necessity. Kale is the first to stand. Ren, the quiet stone shaper, stands with him. His hands, which gave them needles and blades, are now offered for a different kind of work. The third is a lean woman named Lyra, the clan's best climber, who moves over rock with the silent grace of a snow leopard. They take the best of the stitched furrows, the sharpest of the new bone-tipped spears, and a single water skin. They take no food, for there is none to take. The farewell is a press of foreheads, a shared breath in the thin, freezing air. It is a transfer of hope from the many to the few. The story of our human ancestors is written in such moments of profound, unspoken altruism. The ascent is a vertical agony. The cold is a physical presence, a giant hand squeezing the air from their lungs. Every breath is a fire, every handhold a risk of frostbite. They are 3 insignificant specks, a footnote in the epic of prehistory, moving across a canvas of lethal indifference. They climbed for a day, and then a night, clinging to a ledge as constellations of unfamiliar brilliance were overhead in the thin, pure air. They are pushing their bodies past every known limit, the first tentative steps in a long process of high-altitude adaptation. On the second day, with the sun glaring off the endless snow, they reach the summit of the ridge. They crawl the last few feet, their strength utterly spent, and they look, below them, stretching to a horizon of yet more jagged peaks. It is a vast, wind-scoured plateau, The snow is thinner here, blown away by the constant gales, revealing patches of frozen, hardy grass. And on that grass, there are dark shapes moving, dozens of them, giant, shaggy-horned Capri deers, a herd of prehistoric animals perfectly suited to this brutal world. They are gaunt, but they are alive. It is not a paradise. It is a battlefield, but it is a battlefield where they have a chance to fight. They do not cheer. The feeling is not triumph, but a profound and aching relief that is almost indistinguishable from pain. They have not conquered the mountain. They have only purchased a foothold on its flank, paid for with the scars on their bodies and the ghosts of those they will lose in the seasons to come. The plateau is not an end to their struggle, but the beginning of a new, harsher one. Yet in this moment, this singular, desperate act of collective will, the blueprint for our own world is drawn. This small band of Homo sapiens, driven to the roof of the world, proved that the greatest tool for survival was not the sharpened stone in their hand, but the unspoken rust that bound them together. Their journey is a core exhibit in the long evolution documentary of our species. It affirms that our ability to climb is not just in our limbs, but in our capacity for shared sacrifice. Does the echo of their covenant, the choice to risk the few for the many, to face the impossible for a chance at a future, still resonate in the bedrock of our own time, or has it been buried by the weight of the world we have since built? This is the chronicler. The past is never truly past, it is merely quiet. What terror awaits when the beast you hunt is intelligent enough to hunt you back?